Hey guys, it's Tiffany with Hacienda Harlech, and I am making up some nukes to take on some splits tomorrow, or take for some splits tomorrow, and I just was showing you the process. We also have a removal we're doing in the morning, so I am making up nukes for the splits and for the removals, and I'll show you a little bit more in my truck. Okay, so this is kind of different than my normal removal setup. I've got this box with drawn comb and then a feeder with sugar water in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and bungee this together for our drive so I don't spill the water. But essentially the reason this is back here instead of in the back of the truck is that it has sugar water in it. We're in a time of dearth. The bees are really interested in any extra resources like the drawn comb and the sugar water. I have a bunch of extra stuff in here. There's my toolkit. I'm gonna use sugar water to spray on them so that when we put them from the styrofoam container into this netting that they're not gonna wanna fly. We'll put them on, basically a bottom board and in this netting and spray them down a little bit and drive them to our location. There's bungee cords, there's staple guns, there's smoker fuel, there's a smoker, there's all kinds of tools, there's queen clips. There's extra things, but we don't need that much for this particular removal because they're in a styrofoam box. It should be pretty easy. So I'm making up a couple more nukes just like that. So I've got 3 frames of drawn comb, 1 empty, and then some sugar water. And I'm doing about 1/3 sugar and 2/3 water. I'm gonna clean these up before we go. But same thing, I'll put the top on and bungee it down and put it inside the cab. And that way we're just not attracting anybody we don't want to. I've got a couple of splits going for tomorrow because we have queens coming that we're gonna do some queen installs. We're gonna do some fall splits. I've got some equipment stacked up here that just needs to be cleaned up, that's been sitting in the yard. And that is what's going on this afternoon. The comb can go, and I just feel a little bit more prepared. Just topping this off. Actually, it's pretty full. So we're gonna put the top on and then bungee it for travel and put it inside the cab so that we're not attracting more pollinators. So this is our little styrofoam girls removal. It's about 6:45 and there's a lot of bees out. They probably just outgrew their spot. So we sprayed a little sugar water on those that were on the outside, and then we went ahead and put our net over it, and we're planning to just slide it on this bottom board. So we got them slid onto the bottom board, and we are gonna go ahead and light a smoker to help us make the move. So we are taking a second netting to put on top of our little project here. Go. Okay, so we got the bees to our location, and we're just parked far away from the other colonies because we don't want to induce robbing. We've got drawn comb, sugar water, and our rubber banded frames. So we're not really sure what we're gonna get into in here. But we're gonna start the process. We'll see. We got the next layer done, and we're about to see what's going on inside. Okay, so this is what it looks like. We've got a hole here, and then one on top. And I'm just gonna cut into it. So around this time, I decided that the bees in the styrofoam were going to stay there. There was too much cross comb going on. I would have just wrecked the whole thing. And so I decided that they could grow down into a deep with frames. So we did our best to seal them off with some mesh wire and duct tape and some plant material, and just kind of encourage them to grow down, which is the natural way that they want to grow down. But before we got to this point, the neighbor had drove up to right where we were, and I believe that she was just trying to throw some trash away in their dumpster. We were 200 yards away from her house and away from the rest of our bees, thinking that we were in the safest possible place. So it was really just one of those unfortunate wild decisions that, she was just came up to us at the wrong exact time. And so she was screaming, and I was thinking that the bees were getting her. And I told her to get in her truck and turn the AC on. And anyhow, we went up with the EpiPen to check on her. And she just kind of waved us off. It didn't seem like she was in an emergency situation, but I didn't feel good about that. Even though we were on our land and doing what we normally do, I still felt like completely responsible to make sure she was okay. So I did call the sheriff's department to do a well check on her, and as it turns out, she wasn't stung at all. She was screaming because she was panicked. It scared her. And that's our responsibility as beekeepers, to keep everybody safe and just to be situationally, aware when somebody comes up to your space that you're not expecting. It was really bad timing. It was really unusual. And it's just one of those stories that could have ended a lot worse. So I'm very glad that she's all right. And I'm very glad that, we were able to get the bees removed, and that the homeowners from the removal are safe too.